Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
It's been a good one for Parker. He's got 8 points and a block.
San Antonio trailing here. Irving and Waiters, the guards. The two stars, LeBron and Love, at the 3 and the 4. And it's Varejao in at the center. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Now here's Duncan for the lead. And Parker with the basket on the assist from Green. And that's now 11 points for Tony Parker.
Greg Popovich with 15 straight 50-win seasons as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. What a remarkable streak of success. And I don't really think folks understand what that level of consistency embodies. He's widely regarded as the best head coach in the NBA, and for good reason. He's the full package as a head coach.
Now here's LeBron following the miss by Kevin Love. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The pass break chance. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
Popovich in the top 5 in coaching win percentage all time.
And he's likely to remain in that lofty company. Kevin, he said he plans to follow Tim Duncan into retirement. Not a bad plan. They pretty much came in together, so might as well go out together.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, the Cavs' David Blatt, the first ever NBA head coach directly hired from the international ranks. Though he grew up near Boston, a die-hard Celtics fan, he represents all the aspiring NBA coaches from abroad, saying, quote, "I feel a great sense of responsibility. I feel like I've got to do a good job." Kevin, he's certainly got the personnel to do it.
A roster loaded with talent, Doris. Indeed. Thank you.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Parker kicks to Duncan. Duncan right side. Now the pass to Green. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That one goes. Count it. Splitters got the lead up to 4 now for San Antonio.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
Well, this game has been tough, Clark. I mean, they're getting after it, and I think they're starting to run a little bit low on energy, possibly.
The kick out to Irving. Right side Irving, and he hits the jump shot. Irving's got 8.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers to the field and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told them they should be dedicating themselves to hitting the offensive glass with everything they've got from now on, even if that means it takes them away from defensive transition. He also talked about creating good looks on the perimeter, saying, "We can hurt them from the outside. That should be a focus." Those are likely not the last adjustments they make today, guys. There's still time left in this one. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Here's LeBron following the three-pointer by San Antonio. And he slams it one-handed.
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set that turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
Now, here's Green. 5 points in the game. Out to the right wing. Duncan kicks to Leonard. Here's Splitter. Waiters grabs the miss. The Cavaliers trail by 3. Here's Irving. Drops one in from the wing. Irving's got 6 in the quarter.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
San Antonio's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Irving against Parker. He kicks it to Duncan. And Parker, here we go.
Well, you talk about the elite point guards in the NBA. A lot of times Tony Parker's name gets overlooked. Something about playing in San Antonio seems to keep you off the radar. But make no mistake, Parker is a true star and, most importantly, a proven winner.
And Parker Clark, a 6-time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, heavily decorated player.
Yeah, he really is, and he's shooting to become the Spurs' first 20-year guy. Now, how crazy would that be? I mean, he came to the Spurs at 19, so he's got an outside chance at it. He said his body feels great. The way Pop manages minutes for his guys, he thinks he can play at a high level for a long time. That'll be fun to watch to see if it happens that way.
Good story, you're right.
Yeah.
Leonard, the pass to Parker. Parker, right side. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Parker's got 15 points.
Easy little jump shot for him right there, guys.
James up top. He's covered by Leonard. James, no good.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense. Signature basket for him there, and you know they can turn this deficit around pretty quickly if he gets on a roll.
And stolen by Irving. And now the Cavaliers. Fast break. And that one is stuffed right through.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
San Antonio with the ball, following the score by Cleveland. And Duncan gets it to go in.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
And the Cavaliers call time here.
The Spurs were able to take the top seed in the West once again and set themselves up for yet another deep playoff run.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green, and it's Mills in for Parker. Now, here is Irving. 12 points for him. That drops.
Well, it's been a tale of two halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
As you said, the Spurs were the top seed coming into the playoffs and in the West, but they were pushed to the limit early by Dallas before cruising to the NBA Finals. And I can go back to a number of years where the #1 seed has had a tough time in its first-round matchup only to get to the NBA Finals and in some cases win.
And for the Spurs in their run to yet another NBA title, they didn't seem to have any weakness in Clark, any facet of their game.
And, you know, a little bit of that was overlooked, I thought, Kevin, heading into the final series against Miami, but certainly not afterwards. One of the things that so impressed me was the depth, the quality of play that the Spurs got from everybody that Greg Popovich called on. And that really was the difference. They had 8, 9 guys playing at a high level, and Miami only had 1 or 2 guys most nights.
That's a great thought. Offensive rebound. Out to Miller. He feeds it to Irving. And Leonard with the block. San Antonio leading by 3. Duncan dishes to Leonard. Duncan with a screen on Irving. Clock at 6. Leonard kicks to Ginobili. The 19-foot shot, and it's off the back rim, no good. And here's Thompson. Pass to James. Banked in off the glass. LeBron's got 9.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
The alley-oop, and Miller with the block, and he gets it back. In a moment now to check out our State Farm assist to the game, and what a pass it was by a talented point guard.
Well, this is what he does. It's the kind of plays he's known for, Kevin.
Cavaliers trailing on the floor for San Antonio. Ginobili and Leonard on the wings. Boris Diaw is out there with Splitter, and it's Mills in at the point guard position. So they take the lead. 16 points for Kyrie Irving.
He's really done a nice job taking advantage of his opportunities in this half.
Down low and stolen by James. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and then Waiters with the jam.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Here's Mills. Dion Waiters making his last shot. Here's Splitter, and there's the 3-second violation.
close game especially, those plays really hurt.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Green comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable. Bit of a controversial statement last year when LeBron said that there are no longer any real rivalries in the NBA. It seemed off at first, but he might have a point.
And the logic LeBron used in making that rivalry statement was that all of these players, Clark, have known each other for so long, coming up through amateur tournaments, AAU and the like.
And not to mention, Kevin, that with how free agency is structured now, there's a lot more player movement going on. Still, I can't get 100% on board with what he said because there are teams that clearly don't like each other.
And that one's good. Parker.
Boy, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
The Cavaliers shooting straight 49% from the field. Here's LeBron. And the shot is good. James has got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, he's so reliable when he gets in tight, guys, and that hoop there gives him a nice little cushion here late.
Diallo, the screen, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
You know, that turnover right there isn't typical of the performance he's turned in today. In fact, that's his only turnover of the game. He's done a really good job taking care of the ball.
Now here's James. Love trying to break loose, and he gets the bucket. Now it's a 7-point Cavalier lead.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
And Green gets it to go.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
Well, and at this stage of such a tight game, I think this is when tired legs start to show. And the defense can become vulnerable in the low block.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
And that one's good. Now just a 3-point Cleveland lead.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
Now here's James. Dishes it to Waiters. Fades. The offensive rebound. Back to James. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Off the pick. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
You know, every year there are a handful of teams in the Eastern Conference that buck the trend against the West, and last year Cleveland was one of them.
And Kevin, as you said, most teams in the East struggled out of conference, but Cleveland was pretty solid against the West, and I think they'll be even better with LeBron.
Absolutely. Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He told us, guys, I know we can do this, fellas. Let's maximize every possession and get after it and just watch. Things will go our way. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris.
And for the Cavs, it didn't show up in the win column, but a lot of their losses to teams out west were close competitive games.
Well, look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Here's Irving. That falls. Great assist by Love. Irving's got the lead up to 7 now for Cleveland.
Wow, such a steady hand. He's the one responsible for getting them this late lead.
Can't argue with that at all, Steve. His shooting percentage has been off the charts.
Now here's Parker. Passes it to Splitter. Feeds it to Green. And he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one. Well, really, it was against the Southwest Division they struggled. A lot of East teams struggled against those teams. The 6 teams from the East had 1 or less wins against the division all season.
Always tough when the East goes out west. You know, with all the shots they've knocked down here in the second half, their field goal percentage has crossed the 50% mark.
Well, that usually leads to a win. I mean, this is just very efficient offense that we're seeing tonight.
1:53 left in the fourth quarter. Outside Leonard. He dishes it to Duncan. Shot from 6. That's good.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Now here's LeBron. Love with the screen for James. Shot clock at 6. It's stolen by Duncan. Outside, Green. Fires from 14. A second chance effort. And with that shot, the Cleveland lead is cut down to 4 on the bucket from Thiago Splitter.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Now here's James. Got him up in the air with the pump fake and then took advantage. James has got 16 points here in the second half. Spurs trail by 6.
And clock is their worst enemy right now.
Yeah, they've got to work very quickly here, Steve.
No good from Duncan. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And James with the basket on the assist by Love. And the Cavaliers lead by 8.
They are not letting up, guys. They just keep coming at them.
And I'd say that lead is too big to overcome at this point.
It's Parker with the drive. And the rejection by Love. And James gets it to go.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Verjao. Marion comes in for Kevin Love. Miller's checked in for James. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Waiters. Bellinelli, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Parker. Tries to save it. And that's out of bounds. Cleveland will retain possession.
Cleveland ball. 22 seconds on the shot.
And so it's Cleveland with it. Outside Irving. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Irving's got the lead. Back up to 10 now for the Cavs. Here's Mills. Covered by Irving. Splitter. And Irving pulls it down. The 3 gets off. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, congratulations on a wonderful performance. Can you tell us what goes on in your mind when you get in this kind of a rhythm like we saw in this basketball game?
It's a zone you get into, and you know, it's kind of unexplainable, you know, and you try to go out there and you feel like there's nothing that you can't do. You know, and hopefully the momentum just continue to go throughout the whole quarter, and it did. And not only did it open up for me, open up for the rest of us, too.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.